It is my pleasure to introduce two individuals who have been both colleagues and friends. I can think of no more devoted advocates of free expression than Alberto Ibargüen and Eric Newton. Alberto has been the Knight Foundation's transformational leader for 11 years, embracing the exciting possibilities of technology and championing pioneers in our field. He put money behind the most innovative ideas. And as CEO, Alberto nurtured initiatives to prepare tomorrow's journalists for a new era. He has been a persistent, eloquent voice on behalf of the freedoms that allow us all to do our work. For decades, Alberto dedicated himself to building strong news organizations, everywhere in his role at the Knight Foundation and with extra intensity as a newspaper business executive in Hartford, New York, and Miami. As publisher at the Miami Herald, he did me the honor of making me its editor. I learned quickly that he likes vigorous debate, especially with his editor. So let's just say he availed himself of the right of free expression. There I also witnessed Alberto's passion for journalism that reveals truths and holds powerful interests to account. The Herald won 3 Pulitzer Prizes during his tenure. And with a vision beyond our borders, Alberto has sought to end impunity for those who kill, kidnap, and intimidate journalists. I recall Alberto speaking of his faith in the wisdom of a well-informed crowd. In another man's voice, those might be mere words. But Alberto is a doer. With every resource available to him, he has sought to assure that threats to free expression are extinguished and that the benefits of free expression are shared worldwide. Eric Newton has dedicated himself for years to advancing the cause of a free and vibrant press. Over 15 years in top positions at the Knight Foundation, he expanded its journalism and media innovation programs and helped develop $100 million in free expression grants. He assessed today's media landscape with hard-headed realism, pressing our profession to adopt new practices even as it fulfilled its public interest mission. Eric backed efforts that stand as enduring contributions to our field: the largest online journalism training portal in the world, a national observance of the importance of open government, a consortium that has transformed journalism education at universities, an innovation competition that funds breakthrough ideas. Previously, as managing editor of the Oakland Tribune, he helped guide the paper to a Pulitzer Prize. And even when the paper was broke, he found a way to sue agencies that refused to release information as required by law. As the first managing editor at the museum, he built the First Amendment into exhibits throughout the facility. And today, Eric is cultivating the next generation of journalists in his position as innovation chief at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism, Arizona State University, while continuing to consult for the Knight Foundation. Together at the Knight Foundation, Alberto and Eric strengthened a relationship with the Reporters Committee that began in the 1970s. Decades later, the foundation provided an endowment that funds a substantial portion of the committee's work. Free expression imposes an obligation on every individual who hopes to enjoy its liberties. The Freedom of the Press Award goes to 2 individuals who made that obligation their life's work: Alberto Ibargüen and Eric Newton.
Thank you. We just wanted to show that we know how to do this. I'll speak for both of us if in the interest of time, and thank you, Marty. Back in Miami Herald days, I could easily have imagined you at the Washington Post and me at Knight Foundation. I'm not sure I would have imagined Jeff Bezos at the Washington Post or Knight Ridder disappearing where we worked. What I really couldn't have imagined is you inspiring an Academy Award movie or for that matter, that terrific imitation of Marty Baron playing Liev Schreiber, playing Marty Baron. Congratulations to you and the team at Spotlight, Boston Globe, for what you achieved for that community and for journalism. And thank you, Tim Armstrong and Lee Bollinger, who are the chairs of tonight's dinner and our friends and partners in too many important ways to count. I talked with Lee this afternoon, and it's true, he really does have a whole series of graduation events. Congratulations to Tom Brokaw for a lifetime in the First Amendment, and to my friend Eve Burton and the law department at Hearst. Under her leadership, Hearst has become indispensable in the daily fight for free speech and open records. I'm proud to say that, and prouder still that her First Amendment counsel is Susana's and my son, Diego Ibargüen. So congratulations to him as well. Eric and I thank the Reporters Committee for this honor. Defending journalism and journalists, especially journalists who ask uncomfortable questions and who write difficult truths, can be thankless, but it's a cause we all in this room believe in. And for more than 45 years, the Reporters Committee has fought for journalists and therefore for everyone's right to know. We are both proud that Knight Foundation has been among the committee's strongest supporters and expect the committee's Knight Litigation Fund to continue to be a permanent battlement from which to defend the First Amendment. Tom Brokaw put this evening in context, I think. We're living in a time of transition from media we have known to new media that is at once powerfully democratic and a tool for science fiction control. We accept this award at a moment when First Amendment law is far from settled. As our lives move into cyberspace, how will our freedoms move with them? As interpretations of the First Amendment evolve, who will fight for a broad definition of free expression in the tradition of American newspapers? Half of the leading newspaper editors responding to a recent poll said their industry was no longer prepared, no longer in a position to play its historic role of First Amendment defender. Companies that traditionally stood up for free press are stressed, and new media, internet companies, are apparently still trying to figure out whether this is their fight. We believe what Jack Knight wrote more than 40 years ago. We cannot free the minds of men if at the same time we accept limitations upon free speech or the right to express our opinions through the printed word or electronic media. The American press must resist with all the strength it can muster any governmental or other restrictive measures designed to negate or dilute our individual freedom. In that spirit, Knight Foundation and Columbia University today announced an agreement to partner, as Lee Bollinger mentioned in the video, to form the Knight Institute for the First Amendment at Columbia University. It is a $60 million commitment to free speech in the digital age, funded half by Columbia and half by Knight, intended to permanently support free speech while constantly evolving to stay relevant with the times and with technology. Lee Bollinger is a distinguished First Amendment scholar, and under his leadership, Columbia brings unique abilities to unite world-class law, journalism, and engineering, making it the ideal partner. Challenges to free expression are plentiful as the daily news, from political promises to toughen libel laws, to a presidential administration that has widened surveillance powers and denied record numbers of Freedom of Information Act requests. But the challenges go beyond that and are made global by the very technologies that increasingly determine the news we see and don't see, what we know and think we know, and governmental action, both here and abroad, trying in earnest to penetrate and control that technology, whether with right-to-be-forgotten laws or other straight-out censorship. In a World Wide Web world, those laws will impact us. So we believe it's crucial that another financially independent, institutionally powerful advocate stand up to maintain the gold standard of free expression. The Knight Institute at Columbia will champion free expression through domestic litigation, research, scholarship, with the goal of producing significant legal victories and informing discourse, debate, and understanding of free speech. The Institute's board will include the deans of the law school and the journalism school. Steve Cole, the dean of the journalism school, is here tonight, as well as our co-honoree, Eve Burton. We are well into the search for an executive director who will report directly to President Bollinger, and I am delighted to announce that Ford, Hewlett, and Carnegie Foundations have already agreed to support the Institute, so the family that you've created continues to grow. Eric and I are not the type to wring our hands and lament that the world has changed or that power seeks greater and greater control of information. Power and change has always been. We accept that challenge, but the truth is that we don't yet fully understand the implications of our lives in internet or know the way future generations will interpret free expression. So our vision is that the Knight Institute, devoted to principle and able to evolve with technology, will effectively advocate in favor of the right to know and the right to tell, for freedom in a future we can't yet imagine, and against the relentless enemies of free expression. We stand for free speech, free press, and for a free people. Thank you.